Hello guys, Coach Carroll here with Sports Banter 38, and today I'm going to give my top four for college football playoffs right now. Just 3 or 4 weeks into the season. We're on week 4 now, and just after 3 games, so still way early in the process. I'm also going to give two or three teams that I think are kind of like on the verge of getting into the top four. But this is just an early shot or at who I feel is the most deserving, or basically what I'm going off of is resume and head-to-head, who I believe would win out of the teams had they played each other. And I'm going to start out with 6/7. I got two teams kind of right there together. Start out with Notre Dame. They're 3-0. Of course, they beat Michigan. They beat Vanderbilt. And the other game they won was Ball State. I feel like they didn't look great in the Ball State game. And Vanderbilt pushed them. So Notre Dame, I got them at 6 or 7 just because, they are undefeated. But if they run the table, they could very well get in. And the issue I got here is I see a team that I have in the top 4, or any of the teams in the top 4, I feel like head-to-head would beat them. But those teams' schedules, Notre Dame's schedule's not easy. So if they get through their schedule, they should get in. They could probably get in with one loss. But there's a couple teams in the top 4, their schedule's even a little tougher, and they could lose one game, and Notre Dame could get in over them, and that could be an issue. Notre Dame's strength, in my opinion, is Wimbush is a good quarterback, not great thrower, but he does a lot of stuff running the ball with his athleticism. The team has talent on the offensive side of the ball. It just seems like the cohesion is not quite there yet. If they get better on offensively, then they'll be well deserving of getting in. They could be really good. I believe defensively they're just off the chain. Their defense is going to keep them in every game that they play, even if it was against one of the top 4 teams. These guys defensively are very strong. Moving on, I'm going to go to LSU because they have some big wins. They defeated Miami, a top 10 team, in week 1 pretty soundly. And they also defeated Auburn on the road this past Saturday with a last-second field goal. Big difference in LSU. They got great defense as always, but quarterback play, although he is not putting up astronomical numbers, he is absolutely being a very cerebral type quarterback. He's making checks at the line and getting them into good position. But, don't let that fool you. The kid has got an arm on him. He came out of high school as a mobile quarterback. I'm talking about Joe Burrow, of course. And he lost the starting job to Dwayne Haskins out at Ohio State, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't say you're not any good. Haskins is a beast. He should absolutely be in the Heisman race. This guy is accurate as hell. The guy is throwing darts. And you've got to give Haskins his credit. So Burrow transferring to LSU was a smart move for him. Burrow has been very effective on third downs. He has made some really great throws, really firing the ball in there. So he is capable of putting numbers up. In fact, I believe that changes this week. I see Burrow having a pretty big week, 250 to 300 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe 4. Depending on how long they keep him in. They're playing Louisiana Tech, I believe it is. Let me see real quick. Yes, they're playing Louisiana Tech at home, so should be a big game. I feel like his numbers are going to improve. He's going to show to be a good quarterback who can win you a game. He's not just managing, although it looks like that's all he's doing right now. But LSU looking really strong. So I got kind of like LSU and Notre Dame at 6-7. They're kind of like even in my mind at the moment. Moving on, we got the Oklahoma Sooners, who, if you asked me last week or after week 1, they may very well be in the top 4. Oklahoma is Kyler Murray at quarterback. They got good skill players all around him. Their defense is playing better. The reason they're at 5 and not in the top 4 is because last week they actually looked, like they were human, basically. They looked astronomical the first couple weeks, and I was like, they looked great. They looked as good as anybody in the country, and they still are very good. Kyler Murray is a beast at quarterback. This past week they played um, Iowa State, and Iowa State basically brought them back down to earth a little bit. They only won by 10. It's like 37-27. But, they got it done. You're going to run into these kind of games, and it may set you back a little bit in rankings and stuff like that. But as long as you continue to take care of business, that won't be an issue. If they run the table and go undefeated, it's going to be hard to keep them out of the playoffs. And it's the same situation as I said with Notre Dame. They could lose one game and still potentially get in. But out of those top 4 teams, if Oklahoma goes undefeated and one of those top 4 teams were to lose, they could take their spot. And I feel like those 4 teams at this time is actually better than Oklahoma, even though not by much. I feel like it's a fine line. They're all pretty close. But Oklahoma has played really good. TCU is on the schedule, and that's going to be a big game for Oklahoma. So, looking forward to that. Okay, breaking into my top 4, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to go with Alabama. They've looked dominant. They got Tua at quarterback, and he is just slicing it up. Their defense has looked great. They haven't played anyone too good right yet, but they do have Texas A&M coming in this Saturday. That should show a lot. They got them at home. A&M looked great against Clemson. I don't believe if Alabama blows A&M out that means that they're better than Clemson. Clemson came into A&M, second game of the season. They held out. They got the win. I feel like the score was a little closer than what the game showed, but those things usually never add up. I mean, Clemson's got one of the best defensive line. It's not the best defensive line in college football. That will give Alabama problems regardless how they do against similar opponents. Basically, Alabama, like I said, they've been dominant. I feel like they could win by 2 or 3 touchdowns against A&M, or A&M could get a good start, and they could make this a ball game. It could get really interesting. Of course, I don't believe A&M is going to beat Alabama, but I do believe the game could go in a way that makes Alabama look a little more down to earth. Personally, I'm not sure how it's going to shake out. I see Alabama probably coming out fast and furious, and they're probably going to put their foot down on A&M pretty quickly. So, we'll see how it goes. Number 2 in the country right now, I would have to say, is Georgia. Not because I feel like Alabama is necessarily better. In fact, if they played, I would actually pick Alabama. And, I don't know why I didn't put Georgia first, but Jake Fromm's looking great at quarterback. And the funny thing is, I don't even think Jake Fromm's the best quarterback on that team. Anyone who saw the Elite 11 saw Justin Fields and basically saw him outduel Clemson's top quarterback in the country, freshman coming out last year, Trevor Lawrence. He outdueled him. I mean, it was no running. It was straight throwing the football against good competition, defensive backs, wide receivers, and he was zipping the ball in there. He had to rely completely on his ability to read the defense, his ability to throw the ball into tight windows, and he had to get rid of the ball within a certain amount of time. I mean, they got this stuff crunched pretty tight in the Elite 11. These quarterback skills are really put on display. Not the running or scrambling, it's the straight dropping back and getting that ball in there. And if anyone who saw the Elite 11, you can actually watch it on YouTube. I highly suggest checking out the Elite 11 and watching that on YouTube and seeing what Justin Fields could do. And sorry guys, my dogs are going crazy. But anyway, check that out. The guy's an absolute beast, and with Georgia, he is straight killing it. So I say he's straight killing it. He's not not really playing a lot yet, but I feel like he could. Anyway, I digress. Georgia defensively, they're every bit as good as Alabama. I think they're probably better than Alabama right now. They may have the best defense in the country, but Georgia's great. Moving on, I'm going to go to number 3. We got Ohio State. Like I was mentioning Dwayne Haskins earlier. I feel like head-to-head, these guys can give anybody. Outside of Alabama and Georgia, I'd pick them to beat anybody, to be honest. And I feel like they'd give Georgia or Alabama both a hell of a game. Dwayne Haskins is just slicing it up. Tate Martell, their big college recruit coming out a couple years, he's come in a couple times and he's looked amazing. And it's nothing against him. Haskins is just that good. This team, they can run the ball. Defense with Bosa on the line. Their defensive line is off the charts. They're very athletic. These guys, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up winning it all. So, Ohio State is the real deal. Whether you like them or you hate them or you like Urban Meyer, you think he's a dirtbag, whatever. Ohio State they're a beast right now. Moving on, number 4, of course, that leaves Clemson. I feel like Clemson's in a good position. They got Bryant at quarterback. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is probably just easing his way in there, and he's going to get that spot, and he'll eventually be the quarterback officially. Bryant was out last week due to injury, but Trevor Lawrence came in and played well. They're my number 4 team. I feel like they may have one of the best defenses, one of the top 3 defenses in the country, maybe the best defensive line in the country. Offensively, they run like a spread type offense, and Trevor Lawrence or Bryant both are capable of running it. No issues there. They've got great wide receivers. Etienne, their running back, is a really good running back. Very good, well-rounded team. They've been known to slip up and lose a game here or there. I got them running the table this year, but it wouldn't surprise me if Pittsburgh or Virginia Tech or somebody was to slip in and steal a game from them. But they're still going to win the ACC. They'll still have a pretty good shot to get into the playoffs, even with one loss. I believe the last couple times they've got into the playoffs, they've had a loss, or 1 or 2 of the 3 times they've been in. So, anyway, guys, that is my top 4 with 3 teams on the outside looking in. I feel like it could shake up in so many different ways. Really excited for the season so far. It's looking like a really good season, very entertaining. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me your thoughts on what my top 4 is. I have no connection to any of these teams that I have picked. It's just completely what I've seen with my eyes and evaluating my own self, who I really feel like would win head-to-head matchups and those sort of things. And like I said, anybody's perspective or opinion is welcome. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. That way we can get some good dialogue going on this content and get some good sports discussions about college football, NFL, or whatever it is we're talking about. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the football, and I will see you guys later. This is Coach Carroll with Sports Banner 38, and I am out.